The economy seems to bring more grim news with each passing month. But as nextTV correspondent Michelle McKissick tells us in our Career Makeover segment, increasingly people are getting creative about their financial future as the job market takes a downturn.
Cheryl, more than 2.5 million jobs have been lost in the U.S. in 2008, and that's more than it's been in 6 decades. And no community is being spared. It's hitting right here in Chicago, too. That's why the Chicago Urban League is doing all that it can to reach out to those in need. Another resource when looking for a job is to get to know people who know other people, like here at the Chicago Urban League's Next Thursday's event. That's where nextTV first met Galen Williams a few months ago.
I had a colleague of mine that had a colleague within the group that invited me to tag along. Thought it'd be good to network with some professionals as well as possibly find a next career role.
Galen was laid off from his job in what he now believes was the first wave of the economic crisis. Out of work for 6 months and looking for the right job, Galen had a lot of time to think about his future.
Obviously, I'm reading the news. I'm looking at what's taking place in the macro economy, U.S., globally as well. So I'm registering, how bad will it get?
On his way back from a neighborhood coffee shop, nextTV caught up with Galen to talk about how things are going now.
The ideal was always there, being an entrepreneur. I didn't necessarily know I would do it this soon.
With a solid background in sales and marketing and an MBA from the University of Chicago, he decided to take those skills and step out on his own.
Opportunity presented itself, and so it was time to make a decision, and I did it. But not lightly. But not lightly.
Professor Stephen Rogers with Northwestern University Kellogg School of Management says now can be a great time to go into business, but you have to be smart about it.
If one goes into business right now, they know they must be disciplined. They know that they must keep their costs under control. Access to capital also includes going to community banks. The big banks are not necessarily providing capital to the entrepreneurs today. Go to the community banks.
But Galen didn't go it alone when going into business. He went back to some familiar faces, joining forces with former MBA classmates to form Maroon Global, a financial management company.
We have Barry and Scott, so it looks like we have everyone but Richard. But I understand Richard is in flight from San Francisco back to Singapore.
And that's how Galen starts his workday, with a conference call from his home. But he travels the world via his virtual office to connect with his partners who are all over the globe, from the U.S. to Singapore to Barcelona.
I was self-employed before. It was just my wife and I. Now I have 2 children. There's a little bit more at risk. I think it gives you some incentive to make sure you have some business. So that gets you up in the morning early. That's what keeps you sending emails and communicating with your partners and prospective clients late at night. It's a positive anxiety, which I think any entrepreneur would have.
Galen's wife, Milena, agrees. They've been married 15 years. She also has been self-employed for the last 3 years with her own communications company, and says for them, the rewards of owning their own businesses outweigh the risks.
We try to, focus on the most important things, which I think a lot of people are doing now. We are probably going to have to take fewer vacations, and there's benefits too. We spend a lot of time with our kids.
So far, Galen says his business is off to a good start. He even got a good lead at that networking event that's now paying off.
So over a period of time, I've actually taken that initial meeting with the Urban League and have really been able to meet some additional people that I'm confident that we'll do some business, at least here in the United States, that will benefit Maroon Global. So it's a very positive thing.